This video series is a remake of a plot explanation I made for 13 Sentinels back in 2020 with the original Western launch. I'm remaking it now due to the Switch port being released and also because the original had poor audio quality. Please enjoy and be wary of spoilers throughout the entirety of these 7 videos. Several days pass with no sign of Natsuno. Yuki calls Ida for information but is turned away, so she takes matters into her own hands with help from a student named Erika Iba, who is secretly 426 into Mao's body. Yuki finds Natsuno's journal in which she refers to the box-shaped BJ and the gate at Tokisaki Shrine, and even learns about the second Tomi but makes no headway in the case until she runs into Onishi, the same officer who interrogated Ryoko. They compare intel and he directs her to where Ryoko's sentinel is being kept. On the way she runs into Nenji, who tells her that the Erika Iba she's working with is an imposter. She's cornered by Ryoko and Renya there, who tell her that 426 has been modifying her nanomachines. After this, she realizes the box Natsuno spoke of must be the same box Ryoko asked her to hide. A arrives when she retrieves it and reactivates BJ, who tells them where Natsuno is. The trio travel to Sector 3 but are unable to find her. They return to the old school where they find the remains of android Tomi. A explains that it was used by Juro Izumi, and if the body is there, he must have escaped to another one. Yuki realizes he must be impersonating Erika and leads 426 into an ambush on a bridge where Chihiro shoots him again, but the android survives by jumping into the water below. 426 survives the drop but is wounded and encounters A outside Tokisaka Shrine, who shoots him as well. Juro Kurabe approaches the body and 426 springs to life, entering his nanomachines. He takes the form of Kyoto Shiba and gives Juro false memories of them being childhood friends. 426 also begins to project himself as a talking cat called Fluffy to Megumi and offers to restore Juro's memories of her if she shoots the other compatibles with his gun, convincing her that they are witches who need their powers sealed. While suspicious at first, she agrees. Her first target is Renya Goto. She is reluctant to shoot him at first, but is enraged when he says Juro will have to fight again when the kaiju attack Sector 4 and pulls the trigger. During this time, Yuki and BJ return to Sector 3 where BJ detects a high concentration of androids. They find Natsuno surrounded by them but shielded by the magnetic shield of the kaiju remains she was hiding inside. Yuki defeats the androids using the gun A lent her and the two reunite. BJ later escapes from Natsuno to have a private conversation with Keitaro in which he asks him to look after her, implying BJ will soon be gone. BJ also confirms that he is a past version of Keitaro but that time travel is impossible. Soon after, Shu and Iori discuss their dreams and realize they dreamed of the same event. That night, Shu reminisces about his dreams and is visited by Inaba, who goes into hiding before she can properly explain their situation. Juro's story properly starts when he delivers a stack of papers to Miss Morimura's office and in the process finds his medical records with the name Juro Izumi. He and Shiba run into Keitaro on the way home and he notices Keitaro's forehead glowing and touches it, which activates Okuno's forced activation protocol and summons Sentinel number 13, while also passing the antidote to DD-46 to him. Shiba erases Juro's memory of the event and orders Megumi to shoot Keitaro next, which she does. At the same time, Takatoshi finally tracks down Okuno after 6 months, who promises to help him return to the 40s if he helps him in his endeavors in the current time. Takatoshi agrees. Later, he sees Okuno flirting with Nenji and knocks him out in a fit of jealousy. Okuno reveals that Nenji used to transmit signals to the Sentinels but isn't any longer, so the two take him back to his lab to analyze them further. This takes the form of a simulation that is destroyed by the kaiju before looping, much like the simulations they're all in, and even using the same time travel transitions as when using the Sentinels or gates. Nenji encounters the past versions of Chihiro and Ida before learning the one transmitting the signals is Natsuno, but Juro Izumi convinces him to keep the information secret. Not trusting Okuno and Takatoshi after what they did to him, he agrees to do so. He is later rescued by Megumi, who shoots him and grants him the admin privileges he needs to escape. Looking for Okuno at school again, Takatoshi finds BJ with a collapsed A. Before he can do anything, his presence activates the 2188 Takatoshi's logs detailing his romance with the first Okuno and the fact that Okuno used a video game to create the simulation, then how the space colony the survivors lived in after the end of the world was destroyed by a fight over resources. Scared for the current Okuno's safety, Takatoshi runs back to the hideout but is followed by A, whose mental condition has deteriorated and needs Okuno's help to back up his memories. Takatoshi reunites with Keitaro in the present before Okuno takes him to the 40s to show him the aftermath of the kaiju's attack. Takatoshi realizes the different timelines aren't affected by causality and suspects parallel worlds, but Okuno thinks something else is happening. Tomi spots them returning to Tokisaka Shrine and blackmails Okuno to take her back to the past. The next day, A takes Iori to see Morimura, who admits she tried to implant her own memories into her but gave up. She also explains how Sector 0 works and that she's no longer a real human. A, who planned to use Sector 0 to escape with Ryoko, is disheartened and leaves. Fluffy orders Megumi to shoot A next but fails. She has a conversation conversation with Renya about Juro's memories, but Juro overhears this and realizes Megumi's feelings aren't towards him. Juro and Keitaro go to play games at Shu's house. They discuss their dreams once more before Juro gives him a new video to watch, which he says is important to both of them. An interesting thing about this moment is that Juro thinks Keitaro is the one playing games when in reality it's himself. Inaba appears that night and tells him that the visions Shu thinks are of the future are actually from the past, and that Juro is going through the same thing, which is why he is always so eager to come to Shu's house and subconsciously communicate with her through his TV. Incidentally, this is possibly why Fluffy likes watching her music videos in the Kurabe house too. She tells him that Ida wants to reset Project Arc and that the entire world is only 30 kilometers in diameter. She unlocks a part of the barrier around the town so he can find out for himself. The next day, he tricks Yuki into admitting she wants to see her grandmother again and offers to take her. On the ride there, the two realize they have similar memories of their childhoods before finding out that the outskirts of the city lead into a void of girders. All their memories of the world outside it are fake. Megumi asks to meet Shu on the roof the day after and shoots him per her contract with Fluffy. This time, however, he automatically summons and teleports into a brand new Sentinel. Juro sees everything, but Fluffy removes his memories of the event. Inaba warns Shu to hide the Sentinel from the invaders from another district, but Ida already saw it taking off. He lands in front of Yuki, but the pair are then confronted by Ryoko and Ida, who tells him that Yuki was monitoring him and orders him to cooperate with them. Thanks for making it to the end of this segment. I'll see you in the next. Please consider liking, commenting, subscribing to help the channel grow. But again, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.